Hi, I'm Mike McTaggart with Intelligence Catalyst. Happy to come to you today with a fellow Duke alum, Dr. Ken Russell.
Hi, folks. I'm Dr. Ken Russell. I'm here today with Mike McTaggart, and we are with Intelligence Catalyst with Executive Voices.
You know, one of the ways I've explained Intelligence Catalyst and the disruption that we're bringing to the traditional methods of learning and coaching and consulting is actually called to mind the idea of, or the memory of teaching my kids how to swim. So we talk about fear and the anxiety around that, and being immersed in water, not knowing how to swim. That's a fearful scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't typically throw your kid in and say, okay, swim, this is how you do it. And yet we see a lot of cases where consultants like to sort of stand on the sideline and say, no, this is what you need to do, paddle this way or paddle that way. We see swim classes where we take someone out of the river, out of the normal corporate environment, and say, okay, let's teach you in isolation how to do something, and then throw you back into flowing water out of the swimming pool that you learned in. But we try to get into that pool. And I remember holding my kids, trying to give them that sense of safety.
Yeah.
That they can be assured they're not going to sink, and teaching them to swim in the midst of that environment that is a bit scary for them. But then there is that magic moment where they realize they're floating.
Yeah.
They can do it. And they start swimming on their own, just like riding a bike. That magic moment where they you let go and they're able to do it. But you had to be running alongside them up to that point. You can't just be standing on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And that's a real distinction, and I think a very unique proposition for companies to understand.
I think you nailed it. I think the value of Intelligence Catalyst is being there at that magic moment when you can let go and they can go with the flow. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the magic. And that's a really good analogy because I don't think people want to be handheld in their organizations for longer than they need to, and just like with riding a bike or learning to swim, I need you, I don't need you. Right. It's just that magic moment. It's very, very instant. So I think what people really are looking for is guidance, participation, mm-hmm. and trust. Somebody they can trust, and I think that's where we're a little bit different than most organizations. Where number one, we've been there,
right?
And we've got that experience. But number two, we realize that you don't want us to do it for you. Mm-hmm. And what's funny about that particular element is that some organizations, particularly what traditional consulting organizations, they'll come in and they'll do it all for you,
right? And
they'll guarantee your success. Mm-hmm. And at the executive level, and I have these conversations quite a bit, it's like, well, gosh, wouldn't it be easier just to hire so-and-so? And, again, money not being a consideration, and again, usually it is, but for this discussion, let's say it doesn't matter if it's going to be $10 million, right. Okay? Or $2 million, or $100. It doesn't matter. Just take the money out of the equation. They would rather have, they being some executives, have someone come in and do it for them, because they had that guarantee of success. Mm-hmm. But see, that's a fool's game, because if you're running an organization, you need to be responsible for your own success, and that value that comes from your organization when your part of your organization has success, that builds upon success, is where the magic is. So you can bring a consulting firm in, yes, but don't let them stay and do all the work. Let them come in, work with you. Again, that magic moment of saying, let me try, let me flow, mm-hmm. and that sort of thing. That's where the magic comes in. I will say there's one other model I want to share with you on that note, and that's what I call this. And again, I'll call it the cycle of what the heck change for this audience. Other audiences, I might say a different word, but the cycle of what the heck change is like, it's like any other change event, right? Where, a change gets announced. Mm-hmm. And whether that's a project manager announcing a change or whether it's a senior executive announcing a change, everybody gets excited, or supposedly gets excited, and everybody starts to think about what the world's going to be like once it's complete.
Right, after the fact.
Right, and everybody's excited, and everybody starts working on their parts and pieces, and your typical change effort goes to these kind of efforts, these cycles where, I'm going to do my part, you're going to do your part, we're going to work together, and we're going to come together at the end, it's going to be wonderful. Mm-hmm. But somewhere in that little mixture, usually after a senior executive realizes that there's a money crunch or there's an economy kind of issue or there's whatever it might be, it's some sort of outside force acting upon it. Sort of like Newton's law, right? There's some sort of force acting on us that we can't see, but it's there and we're told about it. And then it's like, what the heck? What happened? And everything gets shut down. You don't get to do it. All the stuff that you had done is actually part of a folder now somewhere in some cloud somewhere that no one knows where it is. But you do that enough times. You do that cycle of what the heck. You do that enough times, it kills an organization.
Absolutely.
The spirit goes away. People don't trust you. There is a I'm just here for the paycheck kind of mentality that creeps in. And once you've done that, it's hard to come back from that. So if you are in that situation, and quite honestly, a lot of organizations are, if you're in that situation, then the first thing you need to do is work on building trust.